Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike from Spectre Comics. Now, if you watched my channel at all in the past, you may know that I'm a big fan of The Mandalorian. And ever since that show aired on Disney Plus a couple of years ago, I really liked the design of Mando's ship, the Razor Crest. And I wanted to get something like a toy or a model of the ship that I could put on my shelf. Now, I'm not a huge collectibles person. I do have this little Mando on a speeder bike with Grogu in tow that I bought at Target. I put it here on my desk. And I do have a couple of collectibles behind me, but I don't buy a ton of stuff. So every once in a while I'll find something I like, and I always wanted to get a Razor Crest toy, but they don't make one. But I was looking online and I found this model kit for the Razor Crest, and without even reading the fine print, I ordered it, and when it arrived, it came in this teeny tiny box. I thought the model would be, you know, maybe that big. It'd be a nice little replica I could put on my shelf. But it came in this little box, and then I opened it up, and I was like, oh my God. Look how small these pieces are. So this thing's only going to be about that big when it's all put together. It doesn't even look like there's enough pieces in here to make what's on the ship. So in spite of that, we're going to put it together. I may do some airbrushing to add a little detail to it. So let's put this on my work table and let's start putting it together and see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. So I've got this set up on my table here. Now the instructions are in the box here. And that's what I'm going to be following to put this model together. Again, it came in this package, and a lot of it's in Japanese, but I don't need that bottom half of the box. But let's go ahead and open the plastic packaging. Now that the plastic is off, I can't make any more mistakes in filming this video. But we'll give it a try. All right, so I don't need that plastic. This is the stand. Put that aside for now. These are the stickers that provide some decals on the ship, and then we've got two pieces of the ship. Now, there's actually not too many pieces in this model, so it shouldn't really be that difficult to put together. But let's. And the way the instructions read is, you know, every piece is numbered. For instance, A1, A16, A15. You find the corresponding piece that's molded here, you cut off the sprues, and then you can assemble. So it says first start with A15 and A16. This is A1 up here, and we've got 5 and 6. So we're going to cut those out. And I've got these little snips here, so I'm going to try to get as close to the model as possible without cutting the model itself. Shave down any pieces here, because these, once you cut them, they can bend off. And then it says put the two pieces together, so one piece fits in the other like this. You can actually just bend them right off. They don't need to be cut, but so I can cut them when they get closer. Now I can actually just trim the piece off. And I actually got myself some needle nose pliers and a tweezer just in case some of the pieces are very small. All right, so that goes on the bottom. Oh, that fits pretty well. And then this piece, A14, goes right here. So far, pretty easy to assemble. It does not require any glue. So A12 is this large piece. So get this cut off. I have to say that this model is very detailed for as small as it is. A lot of detail in each piece. This top and bottom piece squeezed together. So now we got the body of the ship and the top of the ship. And the cockpit is the last piece in the A1 section. Cut this loose. The body of the ship and the top of the ship join together real easily like this. And then the cockpit goes on very easily. So far so good. Everything pretty easy to put together. So that's the body of the ship. Now we've got the engines, and you just simply snap these pieces together That's engine number 1. So that's essentially it. Now the last pieces are the guns, which go on the front, and they'll mount to the front of each side of the cockpit here. So that is the entire Razor Crest. Now we got to put the stand together, and it should be probably the easiest part of this. There's only 3 pieces. So that is it. That was pretty easy. Put this together in about 10 to 15 minutes. Very detailed. Now I did want to add some color. You know, I was going to airbrush some of this, but I think just adding the decals might be enough. Again, this is a very small model, much smaller than I thought it would be. And I really wish they had a larger size one. I would love one that was, you know, about that, 3 to 4 times the size of this. So I think I'm actually going to forego doing any sort of airbrushing on this. The model is just too small, and if I start spraying it, I think the paint might get over in areas that I don't intend it to. So I think I'm just going to put the decals on, and we'll see how that looks. These decals are small. Now there is a little diagram on the box that shows where all the decals go. So if you, I don't know if you can see that, but if you look right there, shows where all the decals go, and that should add enough detail to the model, which will make it look pretty complete. So let's try to do that. And let's see, it is kind of small to read, so I did bring a magnifying glass so I can try to see where each piece goes. First and foremost, now the cockpit has a lot of little windows and separators to the glazing. So, and it looks like it kind of gives you all in order where all of that goes, and that's all the black right here. But I do not know if I'm going to be able to put this on very easily. So I'm going to try a very tiny flat screwdriver to kind of help lay that down. And then maybe that will work pretty well. I mean, these stickers are very tiny. I could not do this with my bare fingers. Even peeling them off here is difficult. Okay, so we completed the model. Here is the final model. Very easy to put together. It looks very detailed, very nice, just a lot smaller than I thought I was going to get when I bought this. So if I could mount one criticism of the model, the stand was very loose. It's basically this small stand, and it's set on a ball joint, and then the cup that the ball sits in attaches to the bottom of the ship here. And what happened is that the model popped off the ball joint, and it fell on the floor, and one of my guns now lost the tip because it's very small and fragile, and I can't seem to find the piece in order to glue it back together. So that kind of stinks. So what I did is I just put some super glue in the ball joint so that it could just be secure now, and it shouldn't go anywhere anymore. Unfortunately, the gun is broken. So again, I did not do the airbrushing that I wanted to do on this model to give it kind of a weathered and battle damaged look, but the decals do a good job at that. So we'll leave it at that. I do want to do some airbrushing in some future videos. I actually have some plans to take some of my old Star Wars toys and do some custom airbrushing on them to create, basically pieces of art, because I have all these old toys. They're just sitting there, and I thought I would do something fun and artistic with them. So stay tuned for that in some future videos. Anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate you tagging along while we put this model together. If you're a fan of Star Wars, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And again, appreciate you watching. We will see you next time. Have a great day.